Good morning, everyone. It's Monday. Welcome to the Rollout. We're going to be covering some of this weekend's news. As some of you may know, I was over at the Pan Am's coaching the Legion team, and it was a pretty exciting event. And this kind of marked Jiu-Jitsu's triumphant return. It seemed like, or at least felt like, we were coming back. We're coming out of the lockdowns where Jiu-Jitsu is free. Mikey was there talking about how he was coming out of his prison. I think he had been stuck in his house for like 8 months. I saw the Meow Brothers. I saw all sorts of Jiu-Jitsu legends there. The whole Autos team was there. All of the Legion team was there. Huge turnout. Spectators were a little lacking, and that's to be expected, I think, given the situation. But I just want to take this time to kind of go over what happened, and we're going to cover a little bit of just the matches and what transpired. And there's some big news with Ibjjf adopting some new rules, so we're going to get into that as well. And these will probably be kind of short little news briefings. I'll try not to ramble on too much, although I do have a propensity to do that sometimes, but I'll try and spare you as much as I can. All right, let's get into it. So, I still have my OBS on here. Just get that out of the way. So let's start here with the biggest news. The Ibjjf confirms that they'll be having heel hooks for black belts. This is insane. Heel hooks. It's happening. Now, I think we've all wanted this for a very long time. And the implications of this are huge, because it means a few things. First, it means that all of the Nogi guys finally have a reason to do Ibjjf, because their primary weapon is now valid, the heel hook, as you can see pictured here. This is gonna change up a lot of things. I think primarily it's going to add a lot more validity to the Nogi World's glory of their titles. I've won the Nogi Worlds a few times, and it's never quite felt real. It just feels cheap. Feels a little fake almost, because you're going in there and you're really just doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu without a gi on. But adding heel hooks turns this into a submission wrestling competition. I think they're also getting rid of reaping, which is significant, because if you take out reaping, the guard game of Nogi opens up tremendously. The ability to actually sweep is expanded tenfold, because one of the big issues in Nogi in the last 5 years was that it's just become incredibly hard to work any sort of traditional guard sweep. You just have to wrestle. And in the Ibjjf situation, if you can't attack the leg locks, you're only able to just come up on single legs, and that's about it. It can be really tricky. If you saw like the 2018, 2019 Nogi Worlds, we saw a lot of this, just people coming up from their guards to do takedowns. But this will actually give us more options to play guard, because leg locks, a lot of times when they're applied correctly, turn into heel hooks. So this is super cool. I think we'll see a lot of the DDS guys start showing up to Ibjjf competitions, and it will force all of the Brazilian side of things to start adopting leg locks, which I think they've avoided for a long time. So we could see the Ibjjf Nogi World become equivalent to ADCC now, because the Ibjjf has the means to promote this heavily. They have the viewership, they have the base of like competitors that go and fight at their events, whereas ADCC is invitation only. So this is an open tournament that anyone can sign up for. It's going to be intense, and I think this will provide some much needed competition in the professional Nogi circuit. However, it still probably won't be professional, because I'm not sure if they'll give prize money, but I'm very excited for this. And I think they're actually having Nogi Pans in Georgia in late November, maybe December. So it'll be interesting to see what they start to implement there, but it does say 2021. So I'm not sure why they would wait, honestly. I mean, it's just a matter of allowing them. What do you need to do? Educate the refs? Well, the refs do need a lot of education, that's for sure. We did see quite a few DQs over the weekend. Let's see if we can find some of those. It probably won't be on Flow, but maybe we could check it out on Instagram here. So the interesting thing about Pan Am's this year was a lot of people signed up and a lot of people didn't show up. So a lot of big names didn't show up, including myself. Not that I'm a big name or anything, but I signed up. I tried to pull my name out of the division. A week ago they said they couldn't, and I wonder if that's because so many other people didn't show up either. I'm not sure the exact names. I do remember that a few people were signed up and they weren't showing up for their divisions. I think it was kind of the same thing. People signed up ahead of time, not really sure if they wanted to compete or not. I don't know, maybe they're worried about coronavirus. Probably not. I don't think the jiu-jitsu community is that worried about it anymore. If you're training, I mean, what are you going to do? We got to train. It's over. Coronavirus is over. Oh, here it is. Here's one of the DQs that we saw. So this was Philippe Andrew. And I was very disappointed in this. This is like... So, it's hard to... Like, technically, this is in the rules. So I'll just explain the context here. Arnaldo is a fantastic fighter. He had Philippe in a anaconda choke. And Philippe is backing up, trying to get out of the anaconda choke. And he steps out of bounds. Now, if you're in a submission and you roll out of bounds or you move out of bounds unintentionally based on the arbitration of the ref, it should just be 2 points and you go back to the center and you start from standing. However, if you're in a submission and the person in the submission directly and intentionally tries to flee the fight area, you will get DQ'd. And so that is what the ref decided happened here. So I'll take a look and you can look at it for yourself here. Get this going. So Arnaldo locks up the anaconda choke right here. You can see that. Locks it up, and Philippe starts backing up out of bounds over this way. But it looks like he's kind of just defending. It's kind of like at an angle maybe, going in this direction, and he steps out of the yellow right there. And when that happens, so they're actually all the way out. Like, this looks like a clear-cut case. Look, he DQs him right there. This looked like a clear-cut case of just kind of like coming out of bounds. It's not like he picked the guy up and walked him out of bounds. I've seen people like in triangles hold the guy up, walk out of bounds. That's a clear DQ. If you're intentionally fleeing, but as you can see, he's just like posting on the hips. He's defending the anaconda, and you do need to back away from this. He can't go into it. But Arnaldo is kind of like, as you can see here, Arnaldo is kind of pulling him back inside, which it's tough to say. I mean, that's why the refs have so much power, because in these situations where it can go either way for either guy, they really get to make the decision. So this happened twice. Let's see if we can find the other situation that this happened, because this was very sad, because 2 people got DQ'd like this. Philippe Andrew and Jonatas. So let's see if we can find Jonatas here. We'll go over some of these submissions as well if we have time. There's so many matches, it's going to be hard to find the exact one. Here's Jake Mckenzie. We can just check this out. Jake Mckenzie hits a nice Ezekiel choke here in this match. Now, I had the pleasure of training with Jake Mckenzie in the last month. He came out to film his new half guard instructional for Jiu-Jitsu X, Lord of the Half Guard. And man, this guy is such a hidden gem in the jiu-jitsu community. Look at this. Locks up the hand inside the sleeve, brings it on to the outside, fist all the way across the neck. Homeboy here didn't even try to defend, really. He's not even trying to like push the hand or do much of anything. But, I mean, maybe he got broken earlier in the match there. Jake Mckenzie, sponsored by Hyperfly. Check out his new instructional, coming soon on jiu-jitsux.com. He did fantastic. We also saw some really interesting absolute matches, with Philippe Andrew taking the absolute title and Andy Murasaki taking the brown belt openweight absolute, which was incredible. The brown belt division was really on fire. Take a look here at Andy Murasaki getting the sub. Nice bow and arrow choke here, finishing up that attack. Super easy. He was incredibly dominant. And for a lightweight, I believe he's a lightweight, to be able to dominate at that level was pretty impressive. So, also Gustavo Batista was on fire this weekend. He fell short in the absolute finals against Philippe, which I would like to see if we can probably catch that one here as well. Right here, check out this clean pass by Philippe. Gustavo Batista was on bottom. He probably pulled guard, hits that nice back step to secure the points for the win. And Philippe, I had the pleasure of training with him for a month or 2 when he was hanging out at Legion for a little bit, and he's very talented. That's the only way to put it. He's very talented, incredibly nice guy, and he did a fantastic job of this pass. as well. And then we saw some teammate on teammate battles in the open division. We saw Dom Bell versus Gustavo. But before we get into that, I want to show you this gnarly submission. Josh Cisneros hits this incredible omoplata finish where he's got the far leg hooked there underneath this leg and then pushes the guy's wrist up all the way over the back. Really brutal. Maybe he didn't actually finish here, but that guy's shoulder was taking a beating, that's for sure. I wish we could see the actual, so he didn't actually get the finish, but he catches that ankle right there, forces him to roll all the way over, and then just pulverizes this guy's shoulder with the old crankshaft maneuver, is what that one's called. The slot machine, where you're just yanking that slot machine bar over and over again. I'm just making that up. That's not what it's called. All right, let's see here. I want to try and find Dom Bell. Here it is. So this was a pretty cool matchup because Otto's in the past has been known for doing closeouts, and it's just not conducive to a career for these athletes if they're closing out in the finals. It doesn't matter if you train on the same team. If you always allow for closeouts, there's going to be missed opportunities for these guys who are just committing their lives and are training so hard, and then they don't get the opportunity to fight. So I was really happy to see that Dom took his shot against Gustavo. Dom was putting a ton of good pressure early on in the match, but wasn't able to pass Gustavo's guard. And then when Gustavo pulled the pass off, he was able to really make that pass stick and ended up winning the match. I think it was 9-0. So Dom, working his judo a little bit, wasn't able to get anything going. And then Gustavo put his patented pressure with leg drags and beautiful knee cuts, and it was just too much for Dom. However, I think it's a great precedent to set because this is one of the first times that we've really seen Otto's guys fight against each other in the finals or in any division since I left the team, because I was kind of always pushing for that since 2014 when Andre fought at the Abu Dhabi Pro. So that was great as well. So yeah, tons of great matches here. I wish I could show you Horlando versus Mikey, because that was a pretty crazy match. Mikey Musumeci entered the heavyweight division and took his shot, but Horlando really put down some pressure. It was this match right here. So Mikey entered this heavyweight division, and he did fantastic at Europeans in the heavyweight division earlier this year. He wasn't in the heavyweight division, actually. He just entered the absolute, I think. I think he did his weight class at the time. But Horlando won this match 10-0. Ended up passing Mikey's guard, I think, twice. So if you have a chance to catch this match, it was pretty crazy and an example of the weight difference. Like, weight matters. I always say in jiu-jitsu, weight starts to matter at around 40 pounds plus. That's when you really start to feel it, and technique's not going to help you as much. And we kind of saw that in this match. More and more guys fighting Mikey in these heavier weight divisions are not going to hold back on their weight. And I've been saying this ever since he started fighting in the heavyweight divisions. It's like, it's kind of risky, man, because if you beat a couple guys, they're not going to fight super technically with you. They're going to start bringing the heat and fighting super hard and really using all of their strength. And that's exactly what we saw in this match. And it was just a little too much for Mikey to hold off. Being able to, just grip breaking alone, if you're a smaller guy against a guy who's 40 pounds or more heavier than you, you're not going to be able to hold grips. They're just going to rip those grips off. And it's going to be so difficult for you to maintain grips. What are you going to do? It was pretty tough. And now Mikey did start off this match pretty effectively with some Barambola action and was nearly on Horlando's back. Nearly. But after that, Horlando was savvied up to the Barambola, which, as we all know, Barambola doesn't work. Barambola just doesn't work. I'm just kidding. It works at the lower divisions, especially for guys like Mikey. But at the heavier divisions, it can be very difficult to get something going like that when they know that's what you're going for. So this was a great match as well. And, of course, the Legion team did super good. We had a few silver medalists. We had a champion, Pan Am champion, Jacob Kasama won. I don't think he is on. He's on here somewhere, I'm sure, but it was on the previous days. Lots of tough submissions out there. And, yeah, it was really just a fantastic event. We saw some crazy ankle locks. Philippe Andrew submitted Roberto Jimenez with an ankle lock. Roberto Jimenez started off with a flying triangle and then ended up, let's actually just see it. I think it's on Philippe's page. Roberto started off with a flying triangle. I guess it's not in here. Yeah, Roberto came out hot with the flying triangle. Ended up getting caught in an ankle lock shortly after. A very quick match. And that was the end of it. So, also, Rolando was on fire. It was just guard passing machine. Really impressive stuff. All in all, it was a great weekend. So, that's going to be it for today, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. This was the Rollout with yours truly, Keenan Cornelius. And we'll be doing these more often. If you like these, let me know. Leave a comment. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Tell me what you think of this format. And it's super simple and easy for me to do. I'd like to do these more often as news kind of hits the web. I can kind of cover it for you guys and let you guys know what happened. Going forward, there's going to be more and more competitions. A lot of open competitions are happening. Florida and some of these more open states are going to be the new hosts of these events. So Jiu-Jitsu's back. Let's fucking go. All right. See you guys later.